What's up everybody, it's Lucas and you're watching Fine Tuning. Today we're checking out the Mud Killer Overdrive pedal from Electric Eye Audio. This is an overdrive and tone shaping tool that's specifically designed to help, well, kill the mud. So for years, high gain aficionados have been using tube screamers and EQs and all kinds of other tricks to sort of tighten up their high gain guitar sounds. The Mud Killer is designed to do something similar to what you might use a tube screamer for in a high gain application, but more specifically, it's got a lot of extra tools and extra functions that let you really tailor it to your particular high gain amp sound. Now down on the side here, the first thing you'll notice is that aside from the standard in and out jacks on the top, you have an amp switch jack. And so if you are playing with the 2-channel amp, then you have a clean and distorted channel, and you want your distorted channel to always be tight and percussive and aggressive, you can replace your foot switch with this pedal. And what this will allow you to do is when you turn on the pedal, it'll switch to your dirty channel for you. And when you turn off the pedal, it'll switch to your clean channel. And then this middle switch here that says close and open, that is controlling the polarity of your switch out. So if you are stepping on the pedal and it's switching to the wrong channel, clean rather than dirty, then you can just flip that switch and it'll reverse it. So first we have our pre-gain control, and that controls how much overdrive is added to the signal from the pedal, kind of how much extra distortion is layered on top of the distortion you already have. Then above that we have the tone control, that controls how bright or dark the top end of the pedal is. Then over here we have your post-gain control, that's your master volume, the output, how hard you're hitting the front of the amp. And this is the kind of special knob here, this is the mud control. So you can see on all the way on the left it says fat, and all the way on the right it says skinny. And as you turn it clockwise towards skinny, you're going to be removing more and more bass, and that will really go a long ways to tightening up the bottom end of your guitar sound on the front end of things. And then you have two extra switches. Here you have the off-on switch, and that controls whether or not you're even using the pre-gain. If you put it in the off position, the pedal will essentially be a level boost with a tone control on it. And then down here at the bottom you have this comp switch, and that just kind of adds more compression and more squish to the pedal if you want it a little bit more soft, a little squishier sounding, or if you want it really dynamic and open feeling, then you can leave that switch off. Now there's quite a few great demos of this pedal used in front of a high gain amplifier, which is of course what it's really designed to do. But the reason I sought it out and wanted to try it and do a demo is because I have some older amps that I really like the tone of, the bass kind of core tone, but the drive channel sometimes can be a little loose, a little flubby, and I sometimes like to have a tighter sound. So I wanted to see if I could kind of bring my older 80s Legend amplifiers into the modern kind of aggressive sound with a pedal like this. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So signal chain, we're using my PRS DGT with my signature Planet Tones to Terra pickups in it. The Mud Killer is patched into a loop of my Boss MS3 loop switcher, and that's all I'm using that for, is to switch this pedal in and out of the loop in front of the amp. And then as I said earlier, we're going to be using both the clean and dirty channels of my early 80s Legend A60 amplifier. These Legends are extremely loud, so to help moderate that a little bit, what I'm doing is running the speaker out directly into my 2-Notes Torpedo Captor, and then I'm using an impulse response that I made of that cabinet and that speaker, which is an 80s Celestion G1265 speaker. So first I'm going to play the amp's clean channel, and then I'll turn the pedal on in front of that, and the reason I want to do that is so that you can really hear what the knobs, the controls on the pedal do very clearly, and then we'll switch over to the dirty channel and start tightening things up. that we can clearly hear what the pedal is doing to affect the tone, let's go over to the drive channel and you'll hear that dry first, and then I'll add the pedal and we'll start tightening it up. Well, already that's a massive improvement in terms of tightness. So now I'm just going to kind of chug open strings with one hand, and I'm going to reach over and kind of twiddle the knobs until I get into what I think is the sweet spot for this guitar and this amp. So not only did that go a long way in terms of like just tightening up the bottom end of the sound, but it also just as a whole really tightened the whole guitar sound up into a really kind of present, forward, thick guitar sound that's like right in your face. So that's terrific, and more than enough for this pedal to earn a spot on my pedal board permanently for this kind of amp setup. But I would like to see what it'll do as kind of like an overdrive lead boost. So let's kind of just goose the gain a little bit, and I'll turn on some delay and I'll play some lead licks with it.